Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Brian, and oh man, this is just a terrible, terrible thing that's going on. This coup, Putin calls it a mutiny. This coup that's going on in Russia is just the beginning of something really bad. And, you know, when this senile old coot, Joe Biden, that's running this country into the ground, got into office so he could expand his business of corruption, and this Ukraine business happened, there was all this talk from the Democrats, the Republican establishment, warmongers, and the media of overthrowing Putin. Like that was a good idea. And you know, when you overthrow someone, you got to think about, well, who's going to take over? Who's going to take over? Who's next? Do you even know? And even if you knew, how would you know that person would take over? How could you even know such a thing? You don't want to destabilize these regions and these countries. And there's lots of people that are dictators, that are terrible people that do terrible things. But if you overthrow them, what happens? I mean, look at what the warmonger Bush family did in Iraq, right? They lied about weapons of mass destruction. How many people are dead and maimed because of that? And what happened? What happened? They removed Saddam Hussein for regime change. Regime change. And then look what happened. About 2 decades of war, right? You do this regime change. Look what happened in Afghanistan. We got some regime change. Oh, yeah, but the people that knocked down the buildings are back in power. And look what's happening. And we had 20 years of war over there. My goodness. Look what happened in Libya. Gaddafi was a bad dude, but they get rid of Gaddafi, and what happens? We got Benghazi and Muslim Spring and all that stuff that goes on. But, right now, Biden, if he's awake yet, the uniparty warmonger people, they're high-fiving each other right now because, oh man, now we got to build up NATO. We got some instability now in Russia. I mean, this is crazy. And look at this guy. Now listen, this situation that's going on may not be a successful coup of Putin, but Russia, which is a major nuclear power, it destabilizes Russia and makes Putin weaker. So if this guy isn't successful, this is when somebody else will make a move. When the Soviet Union fell, that was a coup as well, right? Yeltsin, they overthrew Gorbachev, and that was a real coup. I remember watching that on TV. It was crazy. Gorbachev, who was the last Soviet premier, Gorbachev was on vacation at I remember very well, a Black Sea resort. And Yeltsin made his move. And they were holding him prisoner in this resort, in this house that Gorbachev was in. He even, at one point, escaped, got to the airport, and got stopped at the airport and sent back. But when Gorbachev fell, when the Soviet Union collapsed, which was a big deal, George H.W. Bush was president. George Bush I was president. And what we had the 8 years of Reagan going up against the Soviet Union. You had Bush. Now, Bush, of course, is a bad dude, and he, his warmonger seed, W, did what all that he did. But we had strong leadership in this country at the time, right? We weren't run by a senile old coot and his caregiver wife, right, and his drug addict son that are on the take, that do what they do to get bribed. We got the Bidens are in the bribery business. They take bribes. We don't have stability in this country right now, okay? And when the Soviet Union fell, there was stability because H.W. Bush, as much of a creep as he became, there was stability with H.W. Bush. There's no stability coming from the United States right now. The United States may not even be the leader of the world right now. It very well may be China, right? Because, with all the bribery that China's done and everything, they own our country. The United States is in so many ways a client state of China. So when we're living in a world, now things will change when Trump's back in 2024, but when we're living in a world where China's the world leader and something like this happens, we are in dangerous, dangerous times right now. Very dangerous times. And Biden probably isn't even up yet. Okay? And if he is, they're more concerned about wokeness in the military than bringing stability to the world. So we're in a bad situation. What's going on in Russia right now is awful. It's more than awful. It's god awful, because this is just what corrupt people like Biden want. And I told you guys a long time ago that part of Biden's strategy in this run for the his reelection, in the history of the United States, no sitting president has lost re-election in time of war. All right? No president has lost re-election in time of war. And there have been some presidents that did not run for re-election. By the way, I'm going to take calls here on the stream. If you'd like to call in live on the stream, you are more than welcome. It's a toll-free call, no matter where you're calling from. The number's toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. It's the same number I use on my weekday live streams. 1-888-465-2631. And you'll be live right here on this YouTube live stream. All right. So, what's going on right now is some of the most dangerous things we've ever been in. So no president of the United States has lost re-election during time of war. So Biden wants war. He wants war because, well, the military-industrial complex donors, they'll get they get their paybacks, right? So you got that factor. And Biden's like, Biden and Jill, who don't want to leave, they felt, well, no president's lost re-election in time of war. Let's bring it on. Yeah, well, that's the way it is. So let's go through some of this. And this is really. Let me play this. This is a translation of Putin
to Moscow, where we're hearing from President Putin in a recorded address.
Is heroic. And last night I spoke to the commander of the southern troops. This is a criminal, adventuristic campaign. It is equivalent to armed mutiny.
Now, mutiny, I don't know, because I don't speak Russian. I don't know if he's saying mutiny because he doesn't want to say coup because it makes him look weak, or if mutiny means coup in the translation. I don't know.
Russia will defend itself and repel this inimical move. We are fighting for the life and the security of our citizens.
Okay, I need a translator for the translator. His English sucks. Now, listen, what a lot of these uniparty people and Democrats, if they see me, they'll say, oh, I'm a Putin puppet and all this stuff. Putin's not a good guy, but it's none of our business. It's none of our business, all right? None of what's going on right now in Russia and Ukraine with this coup is any of our business. But I'll tell you this coup is happening because of Biden. There's no doubt about that. And I'll tell you something. Stability with Russia. Oh, man, Zelensky's happy today. The third-rate actor. He's very happy today. And I'm not. I mean, this is scary stuff. Look at this. I mean, look at this footage. Look at this. I mean, this is like serious stuff going on. Look at that. My goodness. I mean, this is like real coup stuff going on here. Crazy. Crazy. And what kind of leadership can we offer when we have a dictator right now, this senile old coot, Joe Biden, who's trying to put his political opponent in prison, Donald Trump? You could say everything you want about Putin, and you'd probably be right. But can you honestly say that Biden is not a criminal? That Biden is not a dictator? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anybody who says that is just, well, they're lying because he is just that. Now, things are getting pretty hot over there. And quite honestly, I really don't care about the internal conflicts and stories behind all this stuff. All I know is that the whole world is falling into chaos ever since Biden took over. So here we are in the Hill. Russia opens criminal case against Wagner chief, Wagner. They say the W's of V, Wagner chief, for inciting armed rebellion. Russia's National Anti-Terrorism Committee has opened a criminal case against the Wagner Group. I forgot how to say his name. It doesn't matter what his freaking name is. We shouldn't even know who he is. They should have just left everything the hell alone. I want you to think about this. Biden hasn't even talked to Putin since this war. The very fact that there has not been a summit meeting to try to stop the war in Ukraine and Russia shows you right now that they want this war to go on. What's his name? Prigozhin. He's accused Moscow of lying about the war in Ukraine. They opened a criminal case against him on allegations that he incited an armed rebellion. Well, he has. He has incited an armed rebellion. According to the Russian state-run outlet TASS, the counterterrorism body is calling for the head of the private military company to immediately halt his illegal activities. Russian military bloggers and other sources have confirmed the open case against Prigozhin based on his recent comments. He released a video that went viral in which he directly countered the Kremlin's narrative for launching the war in Ukraine to denazify and demilitarize Kiev, which Putin has accused of persecuting ethnic Russians and of attempting to destroy Russia on behalf of the U.S. I got a sneeze coming on, guys. Hold on. Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. I'm allergic to dictators. That's what it is. Oh, boy. So anyway, Prigozhin here, whatever the hell his name is, he accused the Kremlin of launching a war in Ukraine to denazify and demilitarize as a lie. Okay, thank you for the bless yous, guys. Putin is been accused of persecuting ethnics, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff going on. I don't care about the internal workings. And you know what? We shouldn't either. When you've got something like this going on, what you want is stability. Stability. Now, as bad as Putin was, there was stability with Putin. Right? Just like with Saddam. Stability. Just like with the Ba'athist in Syria. Look what's going on in Syria. We took out Saddam, and then we've had a civil war going on in Syria. And how many people have died in Syria? In fact, this guy that is launching the coup in Russia, he's guilty of all kinds of atrocities in Syria. He's involved in all of that. All that, see how these things, one thing leads to another. Okay? And this is what we need. We need a real leader. We've got this Secretary of State, Blinken, who is the most effeminate, girly. Welcome, JP is a new member to the channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got Blinken, who's the most effeminate, girly Secretary of State we've ever had. And we've had, two female Secretaries of State, Madeleine Albright and Condoleezza Rice. Blinken is more girly than them, and they were girls. Okay? Right now, immediately, there should be a summit meeting to end this war in Ukraine and to stop this business. And it should be brokered by the United States. But if there ever was a summit meeting with Zelensky and Putin, it'd be China that would be brokering the meeting, not us. Because we're not in charge right now. We're not in charge. We've got a criminal running this country right now who's high-fiving that because instability and chaos is what they want. And I find it frightening. I used to like it when the very thought that we were the leader of the world, that's a good thing to be. Don't you guys think? To be an American and to be the dominant force in everything in the world, that's a good thing. That's what you want. We're the good guys. Well, we used to be. We're not so good now with who's running the country. Oh, my goodness. So share your thoughts on this coup in Russia that is brought to you by Joe Biden. Oh, man. Now I'm going to move on to some other topics, but we'll get back to this. Oh, man. Now, I want to tell you, you guys know Dee. She's one of my moderators. She's in the chat all the time. I don't know if she's in there right now, but we've partnered with Dee and have, come up with something really cool, which I'm going to show you right now. And this is something we partnered with Dee. You guys heard of Trumpy Bear? Well, we've come up with something. It's the Mighty MAGA Lion. See this? The Mighty MAGA Lion. Yeah, I know. And you can order yours right now. And I pinned the link to our store, Mighty MAGA Lion, at the top of the chat. And it's also in the description of the video. You order these now. It's on pre-order. You'll have this. This is going to be the hottest MAGA Christmas gift of the season. So go to MightyMAGALion.com and order yours. If you're watching in the live stream, click the link in the pinned at the top of the chat. There's also a link in the description. See, he's got his MAGA hat on. Isn't that super cool? The Mighty MAGA Lion. Pretty cool, huh? I know. I'm going to take mine up to Mar-a-Lago. What do you guys think? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, the link's right there. Buy yours, okay? We partnered up with Dee on this, which is really cool and awesome. So you guys all, everybody knows Dee, that's regular in my chat. Well, can you believe that it has been a year since President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade? And that, that is a miracle. Overturning Roe v. Wade is something that I never thought would happen. I never thought would happen. And I know, isn't it something? It's been on the Republican Party platform forever. And the Republicans are the ones who seem to be plenty pissed. Oh, it does. It has. Oh, yes, I forgot, Kathy, in the chat. So, okay, let me just show you. Then we'll get to the Roe v. Wade. So the Mighty MAGA Lion, he has his MAGA hat on, and then on the side, 45. See that? Isn't that cool? Super cool. That's right. Pretty cool, huh? That's right. I forgot about the 45. Thanks, Kathy, for reminding me. So the Republicans keep telling us, like that snake, Karl Rove, who lives in the Fox News studio, that they're always sucking up to on the Fox News channel. We lost because of abortion. We lost because of we didn't lose in the midterms. We fired Nancy Pelosi and got control of the House of Representatives. And Roe v. Wade, what Roe v. Wade did, the thing about Roe v. Wade, because we used to talk about it all the time, and liberals used to say, well, that'll end abortions, and we always said, no, it'll just turn it back to the states, which it's done, and different states have different abortion laws now, and that's what the Republican Party agenda has been. But it's been a year since Roe v. Wade was overturned, and these leftists are just flipping the freak out about it. And if you think about it, have you heard any negative stories, really serious negative stories about women who have suffered something because they couldn't get an abortion since the overturning of Roe v. Wade? There was one story out of Ohio where a young girl around 10, 11, or 12 couldn't get an abortion. She was pregnant, and they had to take her to Indiana. And that story, it looked like, that story, they disappeared. She was a very young girl, between 10 and 12. I can't remember the age offhand, because this was right in the beginning when Roe v. Wade was overturned. And she, Itchy Brain, thank you for that super chat, $5 super chat, thank you. She was impregnated by an adult man who looked to be the boyfriend of her mother, or the woman claiming to be her mother, I should say, because that was very vague. But other than that fake news story, and if I remember correctly, it looked like they timed it so she'd be beyond the 10 weeks so that they could make a test case out of it. I have not heard women that are having these terrible experiences because they can't have their abortions. But it's been a year since Roe v. Wade has been overturned. And I want you to think about that. What President Trump did by overturning Roe v. Wade is a miracle in the making. Who would have thought it could have happened? And he did it. And it was crazy. It's amazing. And how many babies have been born because President Trump overturned Roe v. Wade? Tens of thousands. I bet you in the last year, there have been maybe 100,000 babies born, right? I mean, that's an amazing thing. That would not have been. And whatever President Trump does in his second term, he's going to do many great things. He's done a lot of great things already. He'll do many more great things. But I don't think he'll do anything as great as overturning Roe v. Wade, because that's saving lives, man. And that's going to save millions of lives forever. That's like the gift that keeps on giving, the gift of life by overturning Roe v. Wade. And that is an amazing, amazing thing. And these leftists, now that we've come up on the 1-year anniversary of overturning Roe v. Wade, are having meltdowns. And Chelsea Clinton, she has spoken out on it. Now, this woman here, can anybody remember her name? I just forgot her name. I was just about to say and I forgot. This is the woman who's replacing Chuck Todd on Meet the Press. I just forgot her name. It has a K in it. Well, whatever. This is the woman who, her and her mommy and daddy spent Christmas morning having slept over Christmas Eve with the Obamas at the White House. Can you imagine? That's how connected this woman is. That's how Kristen Welker, is that her name? Kristen Welker, I think is her name. Yeah, she spent the Christmas Eve and then woke up Christmas morning with the Obamas had little girls at the time. So this woman is really connected. So she's sitting here with Chelsea Clinton, who's a real beaut. I mean, she's a real. I remember when Chelsea Clinton was the first daughter and all that stuff, and liberals would just have these weird conversations about Chelsea, and they would say, "Oh man, she's got like the best DNA together." They're talking like they're doing eugenics in 1933 in Germany, right? Oh, she's got the genes. She's got the genes of Bill Clinton. What does that mean? She's horny and wants to screw every girl she sees, and she's got the genes of Hillary Clinton. And you put those together, you're going to have like the most brilliant person ever. And one day, when Chelsea Clinton grows up, who knows what she's going to be, because she's got the DNA of these two brilliant people. And what is she? She's a bum, right? She does nothing. She lives off her parents' name. She never worked, never had a job, never did anything. Then she married this hedge fund guy, So she's got all that brilliant DNA, but she's a bum. Could be worse. She could be like Hunter. But, she doesn't have beauty. She doesn't have brains. Her name is Chelsea Clinton. So she's sitting here with this Obamaite who's taken over for Chuck Todd on Meet the Press. And Chelsea's very upset about Roe v. Wade being overturned, and she uses some salty language. This is the brilliant Chelsea Clinton.
Chelsea, what are your reflections 1 year after Roe? I'm really angry.
Oh, she used the F word. Oh, my goodness. I'm really effing angry. Yeah, were you really effing angry when it made national news that your dad screwed everything that moved while you were upstairs doing your homework? How about that? Where were you when Monica Lewinsky was downstairs performing oral sex on your father? When you found out about that, Chelsea, were you effing angry? How about your mom?
Chelsea, what are your reflections 1 year after Roe? I'm really angry.
Oh, yeah. She's angry. Oh, man. She's got all that great DNA. What a vocabulary. Wow. She's got that Ivy League education. She's got the Hillary DNA, the Bill Clinton DNA. And I wish that I had a vocabulary like Chelsea, don't you? Oh, man, we should be so proud. How many of you would be so proud if your well-educated daughter was on TV dropping F-bombs? I'd be like, wow. Yeah, please.
Chelsea, what are your reflections 1 year after Roe? I'm really angry. And I am
And that is an uncomfortable place to be because of the historical women tropes that so often have been used to kind of silence and diminish kind of women and our voices, not only in this country, but throughout human history. But I'm really...
Yeah, I know, diminishing women's voices. I remember there was a woman, her name was Renina Broderick, and she said that Chelsea Clinton's dad raped her. Yeah, she said that Chelsea Clinton's dad raped her. And man, the media wouldn't interview her. They put her down. What were you doing in that hotel room? You slut. Remember all? Oh my goodness. I know. The way women have been treated. I remember there was this other woman that Bill Clinton took his penis out in front of her. And and bloodied her lip. Her name was Paula Jones. And Paula Jones came out and said that Chelsea Clinton's dad, right, tried to have sex with her, tried to force his way on her, and bloodied her lip and said, hey, put some ice on that. And her dad's campaign manager, James Carville, said she was white trailer. He said you take $100 through a trailer park, what you come out with is Paula Jones. I agree with Hillary. Wait, these tropes of women being demeaned. There was another woman, her name was Kathleen Willey. Oh my goodness. Kathleen Willey's husband sadly had committed suicide, and she went to President Clinton asking for some help, and he started fondling her. And Kathleen Willey came forward and said, Chelsea Clinton's dad fondled me in the White House when I was asking him for help after my dad's... And what did they do? They called her a liar. They threatened her. They harassed her. There's other women, too.
Chelsea, what are your reflections 1 year after Roe?
I'm really angry. And I am...
Is that a blood diamond on her ring, by the way? Where'd that diamond come from? Is that a blood diamond, Chelsea Clinton?
Angry. And I am... And that is an uncomfortable place to be because of the historical women tropes that so often have been used to kind of silence and diminish kind of women and our voices, not only in this country, but throughout human history. But I'm really angry because we know that women have died. Mm-hmm. And so it shouldn't matter.
Wait. Well, what women have died? Yeah, Christian Walker, I got that. So she says women have died since Roe v. Wade has been overturned? And then what is this weird accent that I just heard her break into? Did it sound like she got some accent like Madonna when she went in?
And so it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't. What is she now, like Harry Potter here? It shouldn't. She's talking like she's British all of a sudden. Oh my goodness, where's that accent coming from? It's like when her mother is talking to black people, all of a sudden she gets like a southern accent, talks about hot sauce. What women have died because Roe v. Wade was overturned? Can anyone tell me?
We know that women have died. Mm-hmm. And so it shouldn't matter that we don't yet have a federal...
See, there's the British accent. It shouldn't
matter that we don't yet have a federal... It shouldn't matter that we don't yet have a federal registry. Mm. When you have families and you have physicians and you have midwives saying, this woman died...
Who the hell has midwives now? What is this? The Middle Ages? Who the hell has a Mayor Pete probably has a midwife. I could see that. Oh my goodness. And a wet nurse. Oh my goodness.
Died because she was 4 days into sepsis because someone still judged that her fetus might be viable, and so they were worried about providing medically indicated necessary care, and she died? Like, that isn't up for debate. Mm-hmm. And so we knowingly have moved forward.
What do you think Chelsea did to break her foot? I wonder what she did.
Forward, because we haven't gone back. Like, we're in 2023. Like, we have moved forward to, again, a time in which we are making women more vulnerable because of a very extreme, narrowly rendered view of Christian white nationalism.
Chelsea,
oh my
what are your
goodness. Christian white nationalism. There it is. Christian white nationalism. What an asshole. I'm sorry. That's their new thing. Christian white nationalism. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I think Chelsea should take that diamond ring off, sell it, and donate money to all these women she's talking about. You know, this sad story she told of a woman who died because she was being. There was an exception for a true risk to the life of the mother. All right, there's an exception to that, and I'm very suspect of a story like that, and don't buy it. I just don't buy it. And I don't think you guys do either. Oh, my goodness. Oh, man. Oh, man. Now, again, if you'd like to call in, 1-888-465-2631. Toll-free call, 1-888-465-2631. And, of course, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You will love this channel. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Now, this is getting heavy with President Trump in this case. Now, the MAGA judge in this case. Oh, we'll take a call. Hey there, you're on the air. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Brian, morning. It's ID in Broward.
Hey, ID in Broward.
Good day.
What's up?
When you pause the first time for a moment, the Chelsea Clinton. Sorry.
No, I hit some sound by accident.
I'll take it off speaker. When you pause Chelsea Clinton at a certain moment, it was the spitting image of her mom.
Oh.
In that knowingly lying way.
I apologize. I apologize for that image of Mrs. Clinton on my stream. Hope I didn't shock. Hope I didn't hurt anyone by.
Hey, that was her mom's spitting image, and the glare to the audience is, please believe me. When I first started calling your show, I told you I prefer to listen than to call in, but I mentioned to you guys that I went through 4 years of probate, my sister and I, when my father died, and you know I could even have a commercial for Barry Siegel.
Great.
But the words, it's all about when I had to sit for 4 years in court, back and forth, my sister and I, and watching the attorneys bicker back and forth, and I understood the play of words. That's all they have is play on words.
Yeah.
Like you said, never had a, she probably never put air in a tire in a car. Okay.
No.
So when I see her,
What do you think?
lie
What was that about? What happened when she broke in briefly in a British accent, Chelsea Clinton there? Just for one word. It shouldn't. When she said shouldn't, it was like she was Harry Potter.
Well, y'all know. I came so far, and I'm so tired. And you remember that? And I carried a hot sauce in my. Like you said on one of your shows a way back. If you were the guy, you would have asked her, "Go ahead, show me the hot sauce. Show it to me. Let's everyone see the hot sauce.
Let's see that hot sauce, Mrs. Clinton. Yes.
Yeah, catch you right at that moment. And as for the look, when you came off, when you saw the cast on her foot, I had a broken leg, so I understand how that goes too. I mean, just look at her. All the money they have. She looks like crap. She looks like Trailer Park.
I know you know
hair.
what she looks like.
She doesn't even
you know what she looks like. She looks like a sister wife in one of those Mormon cults with the dress she's wearing and everything. I mean, she's so frumpy.
With all the money that they have, man, she can't present herself better and go to her beautician, go to a spa or something. The dress is hideous.
Yeah.
Hideous.
Yeah, I know. She looks awful.
Anyway.
You would think,
I was calling particularly about her.
When you look like Chelsea, you would think you would put some more care in the hair, makeup, and clothes to make up for the lack of, your looks. But no, she just looks frumpy.
I think someone just wanted to be with her to be around the power. I don't think it was her looks.
Yeah. All right, man. Take care. Thanks for the call.
All right,
Thanks
brother.
for the call. All right. Yeah. So listen. So we've got this great MAGA judge in the Trump document case, And this special prosecutor, who's a real weirdo, is freaking out. So the MAGA judge did something super cool, set it for August, this August, just like 2 months from now, right? Get it over with. Well, Jack Smith, he's trying to stop it. Trump faces new trial date in Mar-a-Lago classified docs case. Jack Smith is calling for a 4-month delay so Trump's lawyers can get security clearances. 4 months delay? They've been investigating this guy forever. What is it? I thought they were ready to go. They got the evidence. Let's go. Let's go. You know, they can give these guys a security clearance lickety-split. They don't have to go through the regular thing of everyone else, okay? They don't. They could fast track it if they wanted to. And this is an amazing thing. This is an admission by this sleazeball Justice Department that they don't have a case against Trump, and they're trying to drag it out. And, you know, I was telling you guys, it is possible. It's unlikely, but possible. It might be 60-40 in favor of it happening, you know, that this judge could dismiss this case on day one at that federal courthouse. It's very possible. And the fact that Jack Smith is asking for a delay tells me that they are very, very worried. Very, very worried. Yeah, of that. Because they want to keep this, you know, like, you know, you ever have a thing when you were a kid and you're in trouble, you got a bad report card, you don't give it to your parents, you drag it out as long as you can. That's what they're doing. They're trying to drag this out as long as they can because they got nothing, so they want to have it over. They're afraid it's going to get cleared by the judge like that. And the trial date is just like 2.5, 3 weeks before the first Republican primary debate. And could you imagine if this MAGA judge here in Florida, that federal judge, tosses out the case, dismisses it before the first Republican presidential debate? Could you imagine Trump? Oh, that would be beautiful. Beautiful. So I think that's a signal that the prosecution is in a panic. They got nothing on Trump because he's done nothing wrong. Now, I've been telling you guys that the federal courthouse where this is happening is such divine intervention. This federal judge is in Fort Pierce, Florida, which is in St. Lucie County, which is 2 counties north of me. I'm in Palm Beach County, where Mar-a-Lago is, and north of that is Martin County, and then north of that is St. Lucie County. This is the most MAGA area ever. I mean, it's as MAGA as it gets. I did not even know there was a federal courthouse in Fort Pierce. It's a small beach town, very small beach town. It's a county that's it's low on population, but it's very, very MAGA. And the entire jury pool area is the most MAGA part of Florida. Not only the most MAGA part of Florida, the jury pool is over the most MAGA part of the United States. And it's crazy. It's really insane. It's that they have it there. It's divine intervention. I mean, it's out of every place in the country. I didn't even know there was a federal courthouse in Fort Pierce. In fact, you know what? Most people didn't. You know, because Fort Pierce is such a small town. There's one in Miami and there's one in Fort Lauderdale. I didn't think there was another one until you got up to like Orlando. And, you know, because it's such a small town, but it's very MAGA. And I've been telling you that if they get to a jury trial, which they may not do, but if they do, we're going to have a MAGA jury. And there is the chances of getting a conviction against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, with a MAGA jury like this, is near impossible. I don't know if this trial would have 6 or 12 on the jury. I don't know. But you only need one to make it a hung jury. There's no way that they're not going to get at least, if they don't get an acquittal, a hung jury. But, you know, they could get a hung jury the other way. They could get a hung jury if everybody else wanted to go not guilty and have one liberal jerk off on the thing and get one. You know, that could happen too. But to get a conviction against the greatest president ever, Donald Trump, and this jury pool is near impossible. And there's an article in Salon, these liberals in Salon, they're flipping out. More conservative jury pool. Judge signals she'll hold Mar-a-Lago trial in solid Trump country, baby. Hell yeah. The Trump-appointed judge. I love it. Oh, they must be kicking their butts. Their own butts. Like, how did we let this happen? The Trump-appointed judge overseeing the Mar-a-Lago documents case signaled that she will hold his trial in a court likely to have a conservative jury pool, according to the New York Times. MAGA Judge Aileen Cannon signaled that the trial would take place in Fort Pierce's courthouse, where she normally sits. The region that feeds potential jurors to the courthouse includes one swing county and 4 deep red counties that overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020. Cannon did leave open the possibility the trial could be moved, but experts say, this ain't going to happen. For years, it's been a conservative venue, says Florida trial attorney John Morgan. It's solid Trump country. Hell yeah, I've been telling you guys that. It doesn't get more MAGA than this. The region includes Okeechobee County, where Trump won 71% of the vote. Highlands County, where Trump received 67% of the vote. Martin County, which you always hear me say on the radio, MAGA Martin County. Martin County, where Trump won 62% of the vote. And Indian River County, where Trump got 60% of the vote. So how do you get 6 or 12? Does anyone know, is it going to be 6 or 12 on this jury? With 6 or 12, with those kind of numbers in the jury pool, how are they going to get a conviction? Now, again, they may not be able to get an acquittal because you only need one Democrat to hang it the other way, but getting a conviction with this ain't New York, okay? This is Florida. Dave Ehrenberg, the Florida state attorney in Palm Beach County, they wish it was in Palm Beach County because there's a lot. That's where Mar-a-Lago is. A lot of Democrats in Palm Beach County. Dave Ehrenberg, the Florida state attorney in Palm Beach County, told the Times that the Fort Pierce counties provide a much more conservative jury pool, but added that a number of jurors could be drawn from St. Lucie, which is more politically diverse. That's total bullshit. Okay, now I was telling you guys a couple months ago, Kathy and I, because our daughter grew up and has moved out, we were going to sell our house and buy a new house in St. Lucie County, which is very conservative, which is where the trial would be. And we didn't because they have the highest property taxes in the state of Florida, and our property taxes would be about 4 times what they are now. So we didn't do it, 3 or 4 times higher. But this was crazy. Okay, this was freaking insane. So I went to Starbucks because we actually I went up there with my daughter, and Kathy couldn't go, and met the real estate agent, and he had me meet him at the Starbucks up there where this trial is going to be in St. Lucie County. And I saw something I have never seen at a Starbucks. MAGA hats, plural. MAGA hats inside a Starbucks. Now, when I go to Starbucks, I take my hat off because I don't want them to give me decaf or, worse yet, spit in my food, coffee. But there were people in the Starbucks wearing MAGA hats. And the people, I know, I couldn't believe it. So this is where they have the trial. It's so MAGA that even Starbucks is MAGA. I mean, that's how MAGA it is. Okay, so this is awesome. This is awesome. Cannon, that's the MAGA judge. She signaled in an order Tuesday that the trial and related hearings would be held at the Fort Pierce courthouse, which is about 120 miles north of the Miami one. She left open the possibility of moving the trial, noting that modifications could be made, but they're not. That's just her, saving face. While Trump's arraignment took place in Miami, where the magistrate judge assigned to his case, they moved it to Fort Pierce. It goes on. Ehrenberg, this is I love how they go to the Palm Beach County State's Attorney. They go to a Democrat. This guy's a Democrat. Okay, Palm Beach County, this is where they brought charges of doctor shopping against the great Rush Limbaugh. So, they don't go to attorneys that deal with the place where the case is going to be. They go to a Democrat and get the Democrat opinion. Ehrenberg predicted the trial could be moved to the courthouse in West Palm Beach, which is the county where Trump lives, and stash the documents. Yeah, he didn't stash the documents. But they're not going to, he said he's not convinced the case is going to Fort Pierce. That's what you call wishful thinking by this Democrat. He is a Democrat, okay? So don't forget it. He would love to have it there, but it's not. And I'm wondering if Trump would drive to the courthouse or fly his helicopter there. Politico reporter, they talked to another liberal jerk-off, right? Politico reporter Josh Gernstein added that if Cannon, the MAGA judge, does plan to do Fort Pierce, it's unlikely special counsel Jack Smith's team would object because they have to take the position that their case is so strong they can win anywhere. The evidence in the trial was first heard by a grand jury in D.C., which is made up of Democrat bureaucrats, okay? Blah, blah, blah. In order for Trump to be convicted, all 12 jurors, well, it gets 12, thank you. 12 jurors. Oh, my goodness. In order for Trump to get to be convicted, all 12 jurors must unanimously find him guilty, meaning he could be acquitted if a single juror disagrees? What? Acquitted or a hung jury? I'm confused. It says, in order for Trump to be convicted, all 12 jurors must unanimously find him guilty, meaning he could be acquitted if a single juror disagrees. But Trump also faces 37 felony counts, including 31 under the Espionage Act. Yeah, but they're all BS. George Washington law professor and Fox News resident Jonathan Turley, who has frequently defended Trump against legal troubles in the past, warned that the former president has got to run the table in the case. All the government has to do is stick the landing on one count, and he could have a terminal sentence. You're talking about crimes that have 10, 20-year period as a maximum. Oh, please. Turley is dreaming. Turley is dreaming. So there's going to be 12 jurors. There is no way that they are going to get a conviction of President Trump with 12 jurors in the most MAGA community. They might as well have the Trump trial at, a Trump rally. I mean, it's like going to a Trump rally for the trial by having it there. This is an awesome thing. I am so excited about all this. And I know you guys are too. Oh, man. Now, I want to tell you guys, there's all kinds of ways for you to support, of course, all of my content and program and channel and shows and everything I do. But a great way you can do that is also by going to mypillow.com and buy something. You can take advantage of all the specials at mypillow.com with my promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, not just the ones I talk about. The MyPillow My Slippers as low as $25 with my promo code Kane at checkout. And you can see they have these new colors, and they have a whole bunch of new sizes. They have larger sizes and wider sizes for the men, and also smaller sizes for the ladies and the children. And the MyPillow 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets. These are absolutely amazing. Kathy and I have several sets of these. In fact, after the stream, we're going to be making the bed. We're going to strip the bed and make it again. And the Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, as low as $29.98. And these sheets are amazing. We've had them now, I don't know, a couple years. And unlike every other sheets we've ever owned, every set of them are like brand new. Because everything Mike Lindell makes is of high quality. And, these Giza Dream Sheets, of course, they're made of the finest cotton, which perfectly regulates your body temperature. You're always the perfect temperature, just like Goldilocks all year long. But what I just was totally blown away by with the Giza Cotton Dream Sheets, again, they come in every mattress size with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com, as low as $29.98. So the bottom sheet, the fitted sheet that's got the elastic on it, on every other sheet set I've had my entire life, I can't get all four corners on. I get one corner on perfectly, a second corner on, okay. The third corner, I get it on maybe halfway, and that fourth corner, I'm using all my strength to get that fourth corner of the fitted sheet on perfectly. And by the way, this is even with the 3-inch MyPillow Mattress Topper 2.0. I can, but with the other sheets, that fourth corner, I'm pulling on it with my fingers so hard that if I slip, I'm flying back up against the wall into the knob on the dresser or something. But with the Mike Lindell's 100% Giza Cotton sheets, You can get all 4 corners of the fitted sheet on with 2 fingers and a thumb. Boom, 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 boom. And anyone who has them, you know what I'm talking about. And just lastly, now again, you can take advantage of all these specials with my promo code Kane. Rome, Wisconsin called me on Thursday and was telling me about how her front-loading washing machine, clothes washing machine, opened up and water went everywhere, and she used her MyPillow towels to soak up all the water that came out, and they did it perfectly because these towels are amazing. The MyPillow 6-piece towel set, just $29.88 with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. But again, you can take advantage of all the specials, no matter what it says here, and there's over 200 specials. You can take advantage of all of them with my promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And it's a great way for you to support all of my content. Okay, now this guy, I find this guy to be a real weirdo, John Kirby. And what I find weird about Kirby, he's a retired U.S. Naval Admiral, and, he gave up being an admiral in the Navy to be the spokesperson for the Pentagon, which is really a weird thing. When you're an admiral, especially at the Pentagon, you walk into a room, everyone stands up. And a spokesperson like that's kind of like a woman's job. So they took him from the Pentagon and put him over at the White House because the historic figure, Jean-Pierre, sucks and gets her ass kicked all the time by a friendly press. She can't even handle a friendly press, which you'll see in a moment. So they had to bring in these liberal Democrats and wokesters. They had to bring in a white man. They had to bring in a white man to do what Jean-Pierre, the first black gay immigrant, couldn't do in the job. And he just had a hissy fit. Look at it. John Kirby walks out of the press briefing while being grilled by James Rosen on Joe Biden mention and Hunter Biden text, a communist Chinese business associate. And look at this. He's pissed. Look at him. He can't handle it. He's getting out of there. This guy used to be an admiral. Admirals are tough. He's got his ass kicked so bad by James Rosen, he's got to throw it over to the historic figure Jean-Pierre. Let's watch the video of this. I'm not a big fan of James Rosen, but he's Fox. But let's watch. I don't care how much they do over on Fox. We're not going back, are we? Unless Trump's on.
The House Ways and Means Committee yesterday released documents, their authenticity nowhere challenged. That included a July 2017 WhatsApp message sent by Hunter Biden to Henry Zhao, a Chinese Communist Party official, which stated in its entirety, and I quote, "I am sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chair..."
You can hear Kirby here. He's like, I'm effed. This guy, he's like, he's not even hearing what James Rosen's saying. He's like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father, unquote. So just a couple of questions about this. First, does this not undermine the president's claim during the 2020 campaign and the reaffirmations of that claim by his 2 press secretaries since then, that he never once discussed his son's overseas business dealings with him?
No, and I'm not going to comment further on this.
We're good.
Wow.
I'm not. James, let me save you some. Let me save you some breath. If you're going to ask about this, I am not addressing. I know you do more than I'd like you to have. I am not going to address this issue from this podium. I'm just not going to do it.
All right.
I'm not going to do it.
Where was the president on it?
Thank you.
Yeah, this is an admiral. He's running for the hills.
More than I'd like you to have. I am not going to address this issue from this podium. I'm just not going to do it.
All right.
I'm not going to do
Where
it.
was the president on it?
Thank you.
Look at this coward.
Thanks, guys. Have a great
Son was at
weekend.
the father's house.
Wow, it's so bad. He's got to hand it over to Jean-Pierre. If this guy was in the Navy on D-Day and he was driving one of those naval boats that dropped the soldiers off on the beach, he probably wouldn't have dropped them off. He probably would have gone back to the ship. So then, coward. Hey, you're the spokesperson for a criminal. Being a spokesperson for Joe Biden is like being a spokesperson for John Gotti. I mean, So then Jean-Pierre, let's go to Jean-Pierre because she comes out. Jean-Pierre spars with reporters repeatedly, pressing her on the Hunter Joe tag team text demanding Chinese business associate pay up. So Kirby just got his butt whipped. He's run for the hills. He's in full naval retreat. So he's turned it over to the self-appointed historical figure, Jean-Pierre. And it continues. Let me see here. I think I got the video here on this article. Yes, here's the video. Hold on. Let's enjoy this. Let's see how well Jean-Pierre does. Wait a second. I got it.
Not a reasonable question. We wouldn't answer James's question, though. Are you going to answer the question? It's not a
Oh my! That's not James Rosen. That's another reporter saying Rosen wouldn't answer, or Kirby wouldn't answer Rosen's questions. Are you going to answer it? Historical figure?
Kirby wouldn't answer James's question, though. Are you going to answer the question? It's not a reasonable question to ask whether the President of the United States was involved, as this message seems to suggest, in some sort of coercive conversation for business dealings by his son. Is that something, if he wasn't, then maybe you should tell us.
So here's the thing, and I appreciate the question. I believe my colleague at the White House Counsel has answered this question already, has dealt with this, has made it very clear. I just don't have anything to share outside of what my colleagues have shared, and so I would refer you to him and the DOJ. Just not going to comment from here.
Text message.
What I can tell you is I know that my colleague has dealt with this. He addressed this at the White House Counsel. I just don't have anything else to share. I just answered the question. I just answered the question.
No, you didn't. Yes or no? Was the president involved in the shakedown attempt?
Stephen, I just.
Oh, look at this. She's getting pissed. See her? She's getting pissed.
Was the president involved in the shakedown attempt?
Stephen, I just answered the question. It's not up to you how I answer the question. I just answered the question by telling you my colleagues at the White House Counsel has dealt with this, and I would refer you to them.
Oh, yes.
Can you just remind us what your colleague said from the White House Counsel so we have it?
I would refer you to them, and they will share their statements.
Oh, yes.
Questions about your statements from that podium. You've stated that the president stands by his comment from the 2020 campaign that he never once discussed his son's overseas business dealings with his son. And you stood at that podium and you reaffirmed that. Do you stand by your reaffirmation?
What I will say is nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
That's right. Biden's still a crook. His son's a crook. His son has sex with hookers and does drugs. Nothing's changed, except that he got away with it.
And I will leave it there. Anything else, I will refer you to the White House Counsel.
This is not a change?
I just answered the question. You just asked me, does my statement change? I just told you nothing has changed. That's answering the question. Go ahead.
Go ahead. The president was there 2 days
Go ahead,
prior.
Stephen. I'm calling on your colleague right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Thank you. To follow up on my colleague, is there anything that you can say with regard to this text message and what the president's son was alleging? Was the president there or not?
I would refer you to my colleagues at the White House Counsel. They have addressed this, and I refer you to them.
Wow. You know, when you're a Democrat and you're getting grilled by the press, you're in trouble. You're in a lot of trouble because the press are always friendly to Democrats, and when you've got that liberal press corps out there going after a Democrat, they're in trouble. Now, I want to mention this about the Moms of Liberty. This is an important point. Okay, I want to talk about this. You may have seen it. Moms for Liberty chapter in Indiana apologizes following the use of a Hitler quote in a newsletter. Have you seen this story? And I'm going to tell you what's going on here and how this happened. But let's go through the story first. You know, and this thing about apologizing, do not apologize. Never apologize to these liberal jerk-offs, okay? They don't take apologies. To them, when you apologize, it's a confession, and they want more out of you. And they are terrified of the Moms for Liberty. We see this time and time again. Listen, an Indiana branch, and by the way, the main Moms for Liberty is the one here in Florida that's been doing all kinds of work. But anyway, an Indiana branch of the National Moms for Liberty apologized on Thursday for featuring a quote from Adolf Hitler on the front cover of its newsletter. The Hamilton County chapter of Moms for Liberty recently listed as an extremist group by the civil rights watchdog, by a civil rights watchdog, which I think was at the Southern Poverty Law Center of Liberals. In their newsletter, the Parent Brigade Wednesday, quickly drawing backlash on social media. Local politicians and elected offices added to the condemnation Thursday. Moms for Liberty emailed Indy Star, a USA Today network paper, Thursday morning to post a statement on the group's Facebook page condemning Adolf Hitler and apologizing for the use of the quote. A new version of the front page without the quote or explanation was uploaded. We condemn Adolf Hitler's actions. And listen, you don't have to condemn Adolf Hitler. You assume, like right now, no one in this chat room, no one watching me later on, none of you have to condemn Adolf Hitler because I assume we all condemn Adolf Hitler, right? Who supports that? Exactly. There's some things you just don't have to condemn. It's just a given that you condemn it. But anyway, we condemn Adolf Hitler's actions and his dark place in human history. The statement from the chapter chairwoman, Paige Miller, reads, "We should not have quoted him in our newsletter and express our deepest apologies." The original pages of the newsletter, which were posted on the group's Facebook page Wednesday night, showed below the Parent Brigade's mast. Blah, 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 blah. It's a lot. Let me read it again. The original pages, it's a live stream, guys, okay? The original pages of the newsletter, which were posted on the group's Facebook page Wednesday night, showed below the Parent Brigade's masthead a quote Hitler used at a Nazi rally in 1935. And here's the quote: "He alone who owns the youth gains the future." Late Wednesday night, the Indy Star initially published the story. The front page of the newsletter was updated to include what was described as context for the Hitler quote. The quote from a horrific leader should put parents on alert, the update says. So I'm unclear on this. Did this newspaper actually print the quote without the disclaimer? I don't know. But this is the deal, okay? And my wife, Kathy, actually, she saw this story, and what I'm going to share with you was my wife's thoughts on this. And I think my wife, as usual, is spot on and right on the money. Obviously, Moms for Liberty has been infiltrated by a liberal activist. And this quote was placed there by a liberal activist who's undercover. You know how DeSantis was undercover MAGA, fake MAGA? There's a fake Moms for Liberty liberal activist who has made their way into the organization that is behind that quote being put there. Okay? I promise you that. My wife thought that first, and she is right on. You agree with that or disagree? Let me know in the comments. If you're watching later on, let me know in the comments below the video. If you're watching the live stream, let me know in the chat. I mean, come on. Come on. A quote like that, and they didn't Google the quote to find out what comes up. He alone who owns the youth gains the future. They have a liberal activist inside their group who was there to destroy the group. And most of these conservative organizations have liberals inside of them that are undercover, that are trying to destroy them. Hell, for all I know, it could be an FBI agent has infiltrated Moms for Liberty with everything that's going on now, and that's how that quote got in there. Now, with that being said, he alone who owns the youth gains the future. That's the tactic the Democrats are using right now, right? With their entire agenda. And make no mistake about it, they are using that strategy. But I agree with my wife. I think Moms for Liberty has been infiltrated either by an undercover federal agent or an undercover liberal activist who's in there doing things. That's why you got to be very careful with these organizations. You know, people call me and message me from different organizations and ask me to do certain things or promote certain things, and I'm very reluctant to do so. I gave you one. I gave one example a few weeks back. A guy called me that I met once at Mar-a-Lago, and he said to me, and then I met him at Mar-a-Lago and did something a little, something I never do. Very rarely do I do this. I gave the guy my cell phone number to text me. He was talking to me about something. He had made a proposal to me about promoting the show. And somehow he got my cell phone number from me, and I gave him my cell phone number so he could text me. And I didn't think anything of it. I give, but I don't give my cell phone. If you go on the cruise with me, you get my cell phone number because we're always coordinating on the ship, and But I gave this guy 5 minutes after I met him my cell phone number, which is highly unusual. And then he showed up a couple times at places I was at that I didn't announce I was going to be at. And there was one in particular that I was just like, how the hell did he know that I was going to be here? And I thought it was a little weird. I didn't think too much of it. And then he called me up, and there was a Trump event that he wanted me to promote. Not that Trump was going to be at, but like a MAGA event he wanted me to promote. And he said, oh, it's going to be, I can't remember what day it is. It's going to be, it was like, it's going to, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day of the week he told me. And I said, well, what's the occasion? What's the occasion? He didn't tell me the date. He just told me the day of the week. He's like, next Wednesday or Tuesday, whichever day it was. And I was very, I don't like to promote things telling people to go someplace that if I don't know what's going on. And I said, well, what's the occasion? What's the event about? He said, well, January 6th. I said, no, we're not going to tell people to go show up and on January 6th and do anything. What's the matter with you? No way, not going to do that. And I got off the phone with him, and I called up Steve Kane, and I said, Steve, listen to this. He's like, oh, he said, never talk to that guy again. He's like, that guy, yeah, exactly. So, and I don't know for certain, but I think there's a very good chance that guy was trying to infiltrate his way into my circle for some very bad purposes. But I cut that guy off, and that's the end of that. So when you look at these organizations, just because someone says they're MAGA, remember Ron DeSantis, doesn't mean they really are MAGA. So Moms for Liberty here, Moms for Liberty has an infiltrator in their organization. And hey, most of them, it's a real organization of activist mothers, activist moms, and, they're not too sophisticated about these political jerks that would do such things. So you got to be on alert whenever you're in these organizations that their infiltrators have gotten conservatives involved in all kinds of messes. I don't have to go through them, but you know what I'm talking about. Now, again, guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe. And I want to tell you guys about the mighty MAGA Lion. Now, we've partnered up with Dee. Everyone that is a regular in my chat, you know Dee. She's in the chat all the time. She's one of my moderators. And we have the mighty MAGA Lion. You guys have heard of Trumpy Bear. We have the mighty MAGA Lion that we're offering. See this? Yeah, because Trump's like a lion, right? He's got his MAGA hat on the side, 45, just like on Trump's hat, 45th President of the United States. And, well, we're selling these. So, and it's a great way for you to support all my content and support Dee. And if you're watching live, I pinned the link to the website where you can buy the Mighty MAGA Lion. And if you're not watching live, there's a link in the description, but the website is mightymagalion.com. And this is going to be, they're available for pre-order right now. This is going to be the big Christmas gift in MAGA families this Christmas season. When you order now, it's a pre-order, but it will arrive and you'll have a great one. This is... Isn't this cool? The Mighty MAGA Lion. MightyMAGALion.com is the website, and I think it's pretty cool, don't you think? MightyMAGALion.com, but as I said, there's a link in the description of the video, as well as the link is pinned in the live chat. MightyMAGALion.com, get yours. I think it's pretty awesome. And, yeah. I'll take it up to Mar-a-Lago. I could put him on the front of the MAGA scooter and drive up to Mar-a-Lago with him, couldn't I? Be pretty cool, huh? That's right. Well, listen, guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe. Everyone, before you go, make sure you like the video and click the notification bell because you never know when I'm going to be live streaming over the weekend. There's a lot going on. We'll continue to follow the Putin coup. President Trump is speaking over the weekend. And there's a lot of things going on, and I've got a topic I'm not going to get into now, but I am going to live stream tomorrow morning, and which is Sunday morning, and I have something very particular I want to talk about. In fact, I already made the thumbnail. I was going to actually do it this morning. Very important I wanted to talk about, but because of this coup in Russia, I didn't get it. I already got the thumbnail for the stream tomorrow, unless there's some breaking news. So make sure you've got the notification bell clicked and you're subscribed. You won't want to miss my stream tomorrow morning. All right, guys? My name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks, everyone, for watching. I'll see you next time.